and gentlemen, and welcome to the CCN News Media On Point. And this evening, we're on point with relief efforts for the Maui fire in Hawaii. We're going to talk about, let's see, CHA has some proposals that you can write. They're asking for requests for proposals for a couple of different opportunities that they have, and we're going to go over that. And then the Illinois Refinance is like a bill that they are promoting. We can get if you own property in the state of Illinois. That might help you, Regina, help you, Brian. I know you your parents own property. And then the Michael Odor adoption controversy. You guys, Sandra was telling me about there was a movie. See, I didn't know anything about the movie. I just read the information. So let me take somebody's is somebody driving? We got to mute if you're driving. Okay, tax doctor, is that you?
Yeah, I'm on the bus coming back from Springfield.
Oh, look at you. So you're gonna give us an update, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was at the state fair.
Okay, I'll come back and get you. Let me share a few things with everybody else.
Right.
So everybody, let's take a minute, go around and introduce yourselves, and 1 minute, tell folks who you are. So Sandra, can we start with you? Sandra?
Hi, Wanda. Yes, I did not know you were going to start with me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandra Campbell, retired federal worker in the area of civil rights. Glad to be here.
All right, thank you. What about you, Brian?
I'm Brian. My name is Brian Vickers, entrepreneur and photojournalist and strong advocate against wrongful incarceration.
All right. Well, thank you so much. What about you, Miss Joy? Can you tell people who you are and what you do? Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me. Okay, then tax doctor.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, I'm Anthony Travis,
Okay.
aka the tax doctor, reporting from Springfield at the state fair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We'll come back to you so you can give us an update on what's going on there. And we have a Zoom user and no name is showing. So introduce yourself, please, and tell us who you are. Somebody doesn't have a name up. And then we have Sister Karen. Can you unmute yourself and tell us who you are? Karen? Okay.
No. Hey, I'm Karen. Retired educator, chaplain, all that good stuff.
All right.
Advocate for public education. That's right.
That'll work. That'll work. So I want to share a few things with you guys. And as you look at these things, just feel free to jump in and make whatever comments you might want. I'm trying to do something a little different than what I've been doing. And that is because there's so much information out there that we need to know about. And oftentimes we may
Excuse me, Wanda.
Yes.
Wanda, I didn't introduce myself. I'm on here.
No.
It's Miss Gina.
I'm so sorry. I thought
that's okay. That's why I have a voice. But anyway,
Zoom. I said your name is not showing, Regina. It just says Zoom user. So that's
that's me. Oh, okay.
That's why I said Zoom user. Please tell us who you are, but your name is not showing.
Oh,
you're right.
Okay. All right, cool. So that was me you were talking to. I'm sorry.
Yes. So tell us who you are. They need to know who you are.
Okay, Miss Gina, and I am the president of Garfield Park Advisory Council, a returning resident to Garfield Park, and I have a couple of organizations. I have a community garden that's 5,000 square feet. Ooh. And I also have a garden that hosts children, the elementary school children of Willa Cather Elementary School. They do a summer program, and I just hosted Limes Smiles for Miles, which is the summer camp for autistic babies. They were from 5 to 12. So that's all. That's it.
For that update, we appreciate that. And I'm gonna try again, Miss Joy. Can you hear me? She can't hear me. Okay. So now I'm going to go to sharing the screen and show you a couple of things that I was looking at. I thought might be interesting. You guys, oh, here goes Miss Adolphus Kendall. Welcome to the show. You probably can't hear me right now. His audio is muted. But here we have in the CBS federal, 24,000 pounds of supplies make its way from Chicago to help the Maui fire victims. I mean, hey, I know you all been seeing a lot on the news about it, but it's just great to know that we're sending something to Hawaii to help those folks that need some help. So as you can see here, the city, Joe Biden will be heading to Hawaii. I guess he did that on Monday to see the damages and meet the survivors. The wildfires, I guess, are just going rampant over there. And so we're sending, they used a United 777 packed full of supplies to take over there. So any comments? Anybody have any thoughts about why we're doing that and if that's something we should be doing?
Yes, this is the tax doctor.
Okay.
I think we should be helping our own. And I'm just amazed that some of the Republicans, especially these folks that call themselves libertarians, these libertarians don't want us to help our own people because they believe in limited government and very low taxes. And it's times like this when citizens of this country need to understand charity begins at home. If we can send our tax dollars all around the world in foreign aid, we should be able to help our own in Hawaii.
I agree. Okay. What about you, Sandra? Any comment? Karen? Anybody?
Well, you know what? Naturally, I agree. One of the things, though, I was doing more research on wildfires. I used to work for the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service, who is responsible for the containment and responding to many of the wildfires that happen there in the national forest.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about a wildfire that people don't understand, and I guess you wouldn't understand unless you were actually involved in a larger than bonfire, something that you have, or a fire campfire or something. Fires are very, 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 very hot. I mean, you don't have to be that close to the fire to still die from the fire and die from the heat exhaustion and have your skin come off your body. It's a horrible experience. I mean, even to try to escape from that fire, sometimes automobiles and other things are just so hot, there's just really no escape.
Yeah.
I'm finding out that they're believing now that the fire may have been caused by a downed power line, which is really, really horrible. And I know places like, especially us here in the Midwest, I mean, we have a national forest that's down in southern Illinois. But places like where these wildfires occur all the time in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, they are really, I don't want to, I don't even know how I can just say it this way it makes sense. They're really devastating, not only to the people, but also to the landscape. And I just hope that we provide the kind of relief and the kind of mental support and financial support that we should. I hope FEMA doesn't do Maui like they did New Orleans after Katrina.
Yeah.
And New Jersey and other places when they had these tornadoes come in. I'm hoping that we've learned from these our past disasters to, really be there and be supportive of people, because like they say, it's going to take a long, long time before they can even start talking about recovery. My prayers are with them, as I think all of ours are.
Yes. Welcome to the show, Mr. Al Kendall. How are you today? Can you hear me, Al?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, I happen to have a break in my schedule. I got to get back to another meeting, but I at least wanted
Okay.
to hi to you and hello to your listening audience.
Thank you. We appreciate that. You got any comment about the fires going on in Hawaii?
Tragic.
Yes.
I don't have any problem with supporting them, helping them. I mean, I'm not of the opinion that people who give to them wouldn't necessarily give to us anyway. So,
Okay.
and wishing for them, wish unthinkable. That's not going to happen. But to the point, it is a sign of our times, and it's a sign of the conditioned world
Yes. Yes.
that we mindful this age and time.
I agree. Okay. Hey, I know I wish them the best. And as Sandra said, I hope we give them the resources that they need. You know, they need all kind of resources. So yes, thank you for that comment.
I mean, they don't even know what they need yet.
Right. I'm sure.
Every day, if you're in that condition, you lost your home. Every day, it's going to be a new.
Oh yeah, a new experience, a new.
We can never give them what they need. We can only support them transition to get on their feet for them to be able to figure out
What
supply.
Yeah, you're right. Well, thank you for that comment. Karen, moving right along. I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, I want to thank Sandra for her comment because she and Mr. Kendall, because I grew up in a loving America. You know, we're doing what America did. I remember Camelot. I remember when the Peace Corps began.
Yeah.
You know, Kennedy. I just remember those things, and the thing is we say we're who we are, and we need to be who we are, and I think that's showing America at its best. I love my country.
Comment, Regina. Got any comment? Margot, welcome to the show.
I have a comment.
Okay.
I have a comment. I think we should assist because that's who we are. They are part of our union.
Okay.
They are part of the United States. Why should we not help them?
Yes.
And I think the disaster of Katrina has taught us how we do need to help each other. That was disastrous. I think hopefully we've learned that lesson. And that being said, and of course, we know this climate change is for real. This climate change is for real. And anybody who doesn't believe it, I don't know what planet that they're on. For us to have the storms that we have that are unheard of. I mean, the flooding here in our city, the rain, it's like, wow, even though I'm a gardener and I truly love the rain.
Yes.
But when it does harm to our community, like our homes and flooding, and then we've been given, access to help. Yeah. So why should, that's devastating for our community, but a fire? And as Sandra, I think her name was, I've undergone a fire, and you are absolutely correct. It is so hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be so far away and you're not even next to the fire. It is unbelievable how hot it is. And yes, we need to be doing this because they are part of our United States. And why not? Why does one think that they should not be helped? President Biden has given us kudos to start applying for assistance for those homes that were flooded. So why, and not to say any condition is any worse than anything else, because a lot of people have never experienced the flooding in their home. So that's really an experience for them. But to a fire that wipes out everything, at least there's some help you can get. There's some relief that you can get with the flooding, but with the fire, it's like, that's it. you know.
It's
So
and
that's just my time. And my prayers and oh my, there's so much empathy here, you know, not to,
yes,
oh, I can definitely
right,
understand. Okay.
yes. Thank you.
That's my comment.
All right. And Miss Margot, any comment?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how's everybody? My heart is very heavy for them,
Yeah.
and I know what it feels like because I had a building that caught on fire, but it was in the sub below zero month. Where I have a lot of compassion for firefighters to be able to even see flames fly out a window, see a fireman switch place. I mean, hosing down the water and slip in front of the hose and flew into a building that was adjacent to my building, try to save my building, and just feel the heat and feel the flames. And they don't have any, it's not sub below zero there. But however, I know what that fire feels like. And I was telling Sandra about a situation earlier today, but I'm sending prayers. And if I, whatever I can do to help, I want to help humanity in any level.
Thank you so much. It's just wonderful to hear how compassionate we all are about what's going on there. And we want them to know that. So we'll be sure to post this and to make sure that it airs on CAN TV so that they can feel the love. Welcome to the show, Lawanza. How are you?
Okay, I just got 1 year older on Saturday. I was in the Bud Billigan parade with Chicago State where I graduated at because I turned 63. When my birthday is on Saturday, it's the same day as the parade. And this particular birthday has a real special meaning to me because I buried Mama earlier a couple months ago, and so this is my first birthday without Mom.
Oh, wow. Well, we wish you well as well. This conversation is focused on the folks in Hawaii and the relief effort being made around the world, but specifically here in Chicago to assist. What's your comment on how we should be doing that? What we should be doing, etc.
Yeah, I think it's a humane thing to do to provide some relief to the people who are impacted by that destructive brush fire.
Yes.
I have some questions about it. No one seems to, did they ever find out or discover what happened? What got it started? What started it?
Trying to say now, it looks like there was a downed power line that started it.
Yeah, down to power line.
Really?
They're doing some more research, but right now it looks like it was a down power line.
Really? But something, I'm gonna tell you something, be aware of. I've heard it said from a lot of people, excuse me, they're downloading some software on my computer for at work. But anyway, I'm back. The Hawaiians, I've heard this for a long time that they had a very negative attitude toward Black people. I don't know if you've ever heard this before.
Well, right now, that doesn't matter because they're in need. And what matters is that we assist however we can. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, agree, I concur with you, but that's what I've heard.
Well, I worked with them from 2004 until 2015, and I never encountered any of that. And I've had there were military members who were stationed over there, and none of them ever encountered that either. So I've never heard that from people who were actually there.
I've heard athletes and various people talk about that, but
I know. I had a son stationed there for several years and he loved it. As a matter of fact, if he were still alive, he'd probably move there.
Wow. Yeah,
he loved it.
And Miss Glenda has a daughter there and she goes like twice a year there and she loves it. I mean, she goes and stays a whole month. And I said, oh, one day I'm going to go with her, but I haven't been yet. But any other comments regarding the Maui situation, or should we go on to see what CHA has to offer? You ready? Yes, Brian.
Well, yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with those in Maui as well, and pray that God will heal their land.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Anybody that's in trouble with fire, flooding, if they need our assistance, we need to give it. So I'm glad that the city has decided to do that and that we're doing that.
In comparison to Biden, do you think Donald Trump would have done this?
Do I think? I see
Right.
No.
that when you ask that question, that's a personal opinion. No, I don't think he would, but then that's just
Well, he would have had to. I mean, they're part of the United States. They're entitled to relief from FEMA. He probably would have had something stupid to say because he's a stupid individual. But he could not, he cannot get around not facilitating and helping them. He really could not.
so he might have found a way to tell him to rub a little alcohol on.
Hey, Wanda,
Yes, sir. I'm just joking.
let me say this, because I think with us helping out Hawaii with our tax dollars,
Uh-huh.
I want the folks in Hawaii to be just appreciative to our plight and our reparations. Since we have given reparations to the Jews, the Japanese, the Native Indians. Okay, everybody got their reparations for our community. And if our tax dollars can go and help everybody else, then their tax dollars should be able to reciprocate to help our community. Just like that $50 million that the city council gave to the refugees, or
Where's our 50 million? Where's our 50 million? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, where's our 50 million?
And we got folks
and we got to hold these people feet to the fire, because how long have we been sleeping on the streets?
Yeah.
In Chicago, in California, in Texas,
in Chicago,
all around.
Well, one of the reasons why it's hard for him to talk about reparations for Black people, and this is why I know Cam Howard is a House Resolution for the reparation thing, but then they're not dealing with it the proper type of way, in my opinion. I met with these people. If you want to have true reparation, let me tell you something. They're not doing it right. The reason why I don't want to give reparations, because the amount of, it ain't just money. We don't just want money, paper money, because see, they control the Federal Reserve, they control the markets, they can do things, play smoke and mirror games to extract all that money. In the ghetto where somebody paying $1,000 rent a month, well, hell, that rent could go up to $10,000.
Luanza, we gonna get to the point, because we're gonna have to get back to the topic. We got quite a few.
Okay, this is all I have to say. To have true reparations, you have companies that exist in the Dow, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Dow Jones Standards and Poor's, that evolved because of slavery and the money that was created. To have true reparations, that means that we have to be vested, in my view and opinion, in maybe 20 to 30% of those corporations. Also, we need to have people in roles, VPs, directors, stock owners, brokers, all this sort of thing. You're just going to go give people, see, you want to have true reparations. What is American democracy, capitalist system?
We can't go there right now. We can't go there right now. But thank you for the comment. We're gonna move on. So the next topic, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to. AJ, somebody got their mic open, and it's probably you, tax doctor. Close it. This is CHA. CHA supplier. If you go to the CHA supplier portal, you get notices about upcoming opportunities. So for example, this opportunity here is right here, and they're looking for, we got until September 8th. If you're interested in this opportunity issued by the Department of Procurement and Contracts, they are looking for CHA website redesign and development people who can redesign their sites and deal with the development of their site. That's an opportunity. And if you are good with computers and interested in doing that kind of work, that's you, Lawanza. Check them out. And then here's another opportunity right here, came out yesterday, and it's for from the Department of Procurement and Contracts for a resident service coordination program. You know, when I was in the CHA senior property, they had a position called resident service coordinator, and that person would work throughout the building to help the seniors get whatever services they needed, whatever assistance they needed, and they were like the go-to person for the building. So this position, it seems like they're asking for a business that provides these kind of services to submit a proposal. It's due by September 19th, 10 a.m. If you're interested, go look right here at open solicitations under CHA, doing business with CHA, and you'll see.
Wanda, could you put that in the chat, that site itself, so I can really.
Absolutely, because I think, you know, I'm going to start bringing information to you guys that I think will help you do anything. You know, I mean, if the information is out here, we need to share it.
Right.
Okay, I'll put that in the chat for you. And then this is an article I thought was quite interesting. Banks don't want you to know about the Illinois Refinance program. Does anybody know about it?
No, I don't.
Anybody else?
No, I don't know about it.
Okay, so here we go. I'll let.
Banks don't want you to know about this Illinois Refinance program. Access your home's equity and get a lump sum cash payment. By Jerry Weinberg.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, banks paid out billions in cash to homeowners opting for a cash-out refinance program. Banks are stunned at the historic rise in cash-out refinances, as millions of homeowners chose a cash-out refinance. Specifically, they are blaming a duo of inflation and low rates that encourages homeowners to cash out at super low rates.
They don't like it.
Until now, refinancing was less about getting needed cash and more about lowering rates or payments. Inflation has been stubbornly high and mortgage rates are at a comparatively low, encouraging homeowners to cash out thousands of dollars in equity in this uncertain time, all while keeping their payments and rates low.
I thought that was interesting. What say you guys about that?
So I read this,
Okay.
and it's really for single families, single family homes. So if you live in a 2-flat, it doesn't apply to you. These are for single family.
Okay.
So I did read this. Okay.
Good. Anybody else? Does anybody have a single family?
Yeah, I have a single family, but the problem is I'm still up underwater after the foreclosure that I've been in, and even though I did get a new mortgage, but you know I was $110,000 on my house, and my house is only worth, as they told me now, $91,000.
Wow.
I would have more. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You said you would have. Go ahead. Listen to this, Anthony.
Go ahead.
If that's the case, I still would apply, because you never know that, I would check it out. If you got a single family home, I say check it out. Please check it out, because that's what they've done to us. And probably you saying what you're saying is what they want people to do, so they won't do it.
So they won't.
I say apply and see what happens,
I agree.
And maybe you might be a great candidate because you are underwater.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, please apply, because when they send stuff out like this and we don't act on it, that's how we don't know about things, So I'm encouraging to apply, because I was definitely going to apply.
Yeah,
I was reading it and reading this. Oh yeah, this is sounding good. And then it says at the end it's for single family homes only.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Let's go to any other comments? Any other comments about that opportunity? Okay. So then let me go back to topic was this story on the Michael Oder.
Okay, to get back to that, Wanda, about the procurement for the website, do you have to have a business or something like that?
I'm gonna put that link and I put the link right here. It says the cha.org. Then you can go there and find out more information about that procurement opportunity. Okay. Yeah, because I know others might have interest. So yes, suggested I put it in.
Wanda, your next story,
Yes.
on point. I mean, that was one hellified move.
Yes, I didn't even know about the movie until Sandra told me about it. I just read the story. And
Well,
when
I saw the movie.
You saw
Okay,
Awesome.
let's update what we're talking about because I haven't seen what you're talking about.
Okay, here we go.
So what is the next story?
Anthony, mute your mic because you're on the bus.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so here's the story. Here's what I read. And this gentleman is Michael Oher. I hope I'm saying his name right. Adoption controversy exposes how ableism and racism can work hand in hand to create a white savior narrative. And this brother is an NB. Let me see, where is he? He's an
NFL.
Yeah, NFL star. He alleged that this family that took him in high school exploited him under conservatorship. Had you ever heard of that?
No, you know what? There's a movie
conservatory.
about there was a movie about this guy, and it's called it was a movie about this guy, but I didn't realize the family exploited him.
Yeah, this is
I didn't either.
Okay, so a lot of people didn't.
Sandra Bullock. But Sandra Bullock, that movie with Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. This is what the gentleman says. He says under conservatorship, the family how you say the name?
Tucci, I think it was.
Tucci had control over his legal, education, and medical decisions.
Right.
The controversy exposes how ableism and racism can intersect to prop up a white survivor narrative, some race and disability experts say. So here you go. He goes on to say that this family, hold on, let this probably reads it.
So he's saying about the family that
Former NFL star Michael O.
Turn it down. What you say?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was going to let the system read it, but go ahead, ask the question because here's the story, right? It says that he on Monday, Oher filed court documents claiming that Sheen and Lee Jean, I can't say that name,
It's Sean and Leanne. Sean and Leanne.
Okay. Who took him into their home when he was in high school, never adopted him. He alleged they instead tricked him into signing documents that entered him into a conservatorship. Once he turned 18 years old in 2004, using him as a gullible young man who could be exploited for their own benefit, the court filing says. So he's in court with this, and they ruled for him and for him to be settled, for them to do something. According to the court documents, this conservatorship gave the family, I don't want to say the name wrong, total control over Oher's ability to negotiate for or enter any contract, including the deal that paid them and their children, but not Oher, millions of dollars in royalties from the critically acclaimed 2009 film, The Blind Side.
The Blind Side, that was the name of it. I saw that movie. And they portray it to be, this white family just went there and saw this person and just gave him the opportunity and how he, became the family, never knowing the underlying
reason
that they were doing, they were doing it. Oh my God.
He said white slaver narrative. This boy, man, I'm telling you, even in 2023.
And I guess he didn't realize this until he became much older. You know, now that he reading and what have you, because he could even read, as the story says. You know, they even helped him to do that to make sure that his grades were up to, because they really wanted him to be the star, the position that he played, because he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying that they still have conservatorship
Over him.
over him.
Yes.
And
That's why
he's
he's
a
in
grown
court.
man.
That's why he's in court.
That's why
The
he's
court
in
ruled
court.
for him, and the court ruled for him. Okay, you're right.
Do you mind if I kind of give you a brief read briefly about what a conservatorship is
Absolutely.
and what the difference is? If somebody would mute their mic, because that's really bad. 'Cause nobody.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. How conservative, okay. A conservatorship, sometimes referred to as guardianship, is a legal arrangement that enables a court-appointed person to make financial, medical, or other decisions on behalf of another adult. It is typically implemented in situations when an adult is considered unable to make decisions for themselves, whether from a serious mental illness, a disability, or other debilitating condition. Okay, how are they different from adult adoption? So I'm gonna make it short. The rights of adults living on a conservatorship also vary depending on the situation. Some arrangements give conservatives the power to make all life decisions, for a person. And you need to cut that out, because that's really bad to do that while I'm talking, that's very disrespectful. Okay, so, and that's totally different than adoption. And I'm trying to see that and I don't, okay, adult adoption, meanwhile, operates quite differently. A person over the age of 18 can legally adopt another person, adult, though the arrangement is usually symbolic. For instance, someone who was raised by a grandparent or a step parent might want to honor that relationship by making that person their legal guardian. Unlike a conservative, an adult adoption does not involve adult giving up their rights according to Tennessee-based law, Yates and Whelan. So that's the difference.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, you guys understand the difference. And I see, Karen, you have your hand up, so you had a comment.
Yeah, I mean, after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, that people just, I think it was Baba Jake Carruthers said, we thought freedom was free, but they, at that point, that's 1867. It's so many different ways to enslave people, because the concept of business and ownership, is written in all of these very detailed, in these detailed documents. I'm really proud of the governor signing that no book banning. I mean, that was real important for us, that no book banning bill, because this is a time that we have to go into literal learning and send our children there. They have to know what the laws are, because those laws are designed to do exactly what this young man is talking about.
Okay, what I did, I looked up the definition of conservatorship. Okay, conservatorship results from the appointment of a guardian or protector by a judge to manage the personal or, okay, it went out. Doggone it. Oh, wow, it went away. How does it work? Let's see if this will work. Oh, none of my stuff is working, but and you know what? This is what Britney Spears, this is the same case for Britney Spears. Remember, she was telling you that she wanted her dad she wanted to now be in control of
Her own estate.
Of herself.
Yeah.
But he was a conservator, here it is. A conservator is a way for someone to assume legal guardianship over adult. Families often use conservatorships to help deal with the mounting medical,
financial and mental health needs of a parent. The status of a conservatorship is dependent on the capacity of the individual to make decisions on their own. Conservatorships become a hot news topic as people discuss and debated the conservatorship Britney Spears lived under for more than a decade to figure out whether a conservatorship is necessary for your family situation. So that's what it really means. So,
Yeah,
and when you become of age, when you have a lot of money, this person has control of everything that you do because you're mentally unstable or you're financially unstable.
But who said that he was a
medically.
Who said this this NFL player was mentally unstable?
They didn't. You guys are confusing the issue. Oh, okay. Everybody needs to slow down again. As it was stated earlier, the young man could not read.
Right.
They did this to protect him. They said they were doing this to protect him because he was an athlete. He was a sought-out athlete coming out of high school. Everybody needs to slow down. And they told him they did all of this stuff to protect him. His complaint is the fact that he is not receiving any of the money from the picture. His family that family has received in excess of $15 million for that picture and that movie, and he has not received a dime. And he says that he was not aware that the conservatorship was still intact. And he would not be aware because, again, the young man's, even though he has a wife and 4 kids, that still doesn't mean that he can read and that he's literate at the level he should be. So this is something that the courts need to decide, and it will be, I hope and pray to God, properly addressed, and the man should receive money. It should not have, I don't even know how even the people and the attorneys for the movie theater did not include him in receiving royalties for that movie. So I mean, it has nothing to do with him. It had to do with the fact that he could not read, not the fact that Britney Spears was a whole nother thing. They tried to do it to Whitney Houston, and they do it to any of the others that were out here that fall into some kind of either mental or physical, or maybe they already had some kind of literacy issue, and they want to protect them from situations, I guess, like this.
You know, when we say we don't know why they didn't include him in the royalties, they do it all the time. They've always done it. When you think about our musicians and our artists way back in the 60s, they never got royalties for him. They had to fight. You know, what was his name? They had to fight to get his royalties, and they do it. It's always done, you know. And I'm so happy that whoever he has finally realized.
Jackie Wilson. Jackie Wilson.
Jackie
That
Wilson,
wasn't that's not a conservative.
You know,
that also happened to Judy Garland. That happened to Doris Day. I mean, people who become products of the industry. You know, they the people. You know, and so.
Well, Doris Day was money. She gave a card to what's his name? The big star, the brother. Slime. She gave Slime a card. She still had money. She gave
Not really. You know, sometimes, you know, things and money is a different thing, because she ended up broke and she didn't even know. Her man was running everything.
Yeah, all I want to say is this: with a conservatorship, no matter how old you are, it could have started when you was young. You can't never outgrow it. But when you're in an adoption situation, you adopt somebody, and at some point when they get of age, you know, they grow out of that, you know, and they're their own adult. But conservatorship, that's the problem. It can go on forever.
That's deep.
Somebody need to
be
that law. That law needs to change.
Hey, Wanda.
Yes.
I never knew that was the situation, because when you watch the movie, it puts you in a state of hypnosis that the dude was adopted by this rich white family.
Yeah. I think Sandra said the movie said that if they lied.
The movie. And
Y'all gotta remember,
they lied.
but you gotta remember, it's a movie. It's Hollywood. A lot of it is made up.
Right.
They want you to feel that euphoria where you were
Poetic like
it. So again, it was a movie, but the real life thing of it is, like he said, if he didn't know, the conservatorships have been around, and they've been around for a lot of reasons too. They have protected some people from the wolves, and again, it's something that is it's a state that you get. A judge puts you in that state, and a judge would have to take you out of that state. And see, that's the thing. But he should have had knowledge that he was still in that capacity. And when I was saying that, when I said the comment about the theater, I'm not talking about what happened with Jackie Wilson and all of those days. You have new attorneys now that try to protect the theaters because you're protecting their brand from this kind of scandal. This is going to hit them hard as well as it's going to hit that family hard. Because, again, this makes them look really, really, really bad.
Yes.
And see, that's
the family got some, but he didn't get nothing.
But that's the thing why they hire these attorneys, and you hire the PR people. That's their job to say, hey, we may be doing this for X, Y, and Z, but what about AAA over here? Did we include that? Because we know that AAA is a party to this. Yes. And they have the right. They were aware that this was still in place, because you get to look that up, that he will have the right to come back, to do a comeback and sue us. Did you all look into that? So they were real sloppy in their jobs. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that, again, the greed gets in the way. And I'm not going to even say because of race, because I've seen whites. Britney Spears' parents are straight up white. People that went on with Liza Minnelli and the things that went on with Doris Day and others that you're talking about, these were white people doing this to white people. It's about the money. It's greed. It's always about the money. Greed. It's unadulterated greed, and it's deplorable. Yes. And I hope he prevails, and I hope he gets his share. I do too.
But you know, in the case of
a lot of people too. You know, if this, because that was I saw the movie as well, and maybe I think it does come with greed, because it wasn't expected that he would be so magnificent at what he did, but that's just the way we are. And then money, 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 money. And now you have these rich people who are using affirmative action. That's why affirmative action is under the gun, because you got rich people who got nothing but money sending their children to school under affirmative action.
Well, you know what you got. That's what LGBT is all about, because LGBT ain't nothing about affirmative. That what it is that these white folks who are dominant and control everything, they have put themselves under an umbrella to designate themselves as a minority deserving of protected status. And so under the Title VII, who do you think that the laws, you go to an EEOC and all these kind of places, they completely dominate all of the litigation. What Black person do you know has a civil rights case involving in discrimination and stuff? You hardly, we got to get class action. They don't have to do that. They can just individually.
That's not true. That's not true. There's several Black people I know, and they just finished that. They just prevailed. And many of them just prevailed against Veterans Affairs, and they're going to either be getting their money back
there's going to be some. No. Oh, I'm not going to debate and argue with you. I'm not going to be opposed and try to be bigger. But the point of the matter is that you have white folk floating this moniker called LGBT and getting Black people stupid enough to go along with it. Now what you want to do in your life, that's some damn business. But to sit up here and create this group, and so it can be designated as somebody being discriminated against, so a white man who runs everything can be a minority deserving of protected status under Title VII, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and all of that. That's a big problem for me.
I got you.
That's a big problem for me too.
Well, I think that Black women should have a protected status, which would be womanist culture, because it is the Black woman who is constantly under the gun for every type of ism that there is. But we're still the mules of the world. We're still the major laborers and everything. So I feel like Illinois is a womanist culture. You know, it's being run by women. And so therefore we should be, especially the uncovered woman, should have a protected status of womanist culture.
You know, but when you look at National Organization of Women and all these organizations, what you find out is that behind the scenes, the actual funders of these things are actually a bunch of white men. That it has always been who got that started. Who really got that started was that woman who was living in the White House with FDR and Eleanor Roosevelt. She was the head face of the beginning of the National Organization of Women.
Mm.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
It was a Asian person who filed that lawsuit in the Supreme Court, and it was the rich folks behind him. Did you hear?
I have to go. I have to leave, Wanda. I really enjoyed the show because I'm going to watch one of the HBCUs because everybody talking about what they do, what white people do with what folks. How many of you are aware that the HBCUs are about to go live while you were talking all this black and whiteism? But it was a great show. Yep, it's a great show. Enjoyed you guys. Stay safe and talk to you, some of you tomorrow.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had one more topic, but it is 3 minutes to 7. So I'd like to give each of you a 1-minute piece to tell folks what you want them to remember about this conversation. We can start with you, Anthony.
Well, I want folks to remember this conversation that I learned something new dealing with the blind side. That even though they use poetic license to tell a story, because this young man became knowledgeable, learned because he could not read, which means he did not understand a whole lot of stuff.
That's right.
And now that he has seen the light, he has every right to file a lawsuit against that rich, racist family.
Yes, I agree. Karen, what's your comment?
The male brain does not develop. I read this, that it doesn't develop until they're 27 years old. And then if you put all this other stuff on top of the brain, no telling what, but it is, I agree, you know, the developmental process should be taken into consideration because that's what's overlooked with our children in public education. They're always accused of doing something before they even had an opportunity to do it. So therefore they go ahead on and get it done.
Well, I'm going to look at the good side of this. I'm going to flip it a little bit. Thank God they took him in to make him educated.
Yeah.
So he can do exactly what he's doing now. That's the flip side. So that's what I would like to take from this. They educated him, and he now says, oh, and he's using his education.
That's right.
Evidently, he knows how to read, or he knows somebody that, read however you got to do it, that will know how to do it for him. Thank goodness.
Yes.
That's how I'm going to look at it. That's what I like to take from it.
I agree with that. I agree. What about you, Brian?
I think this, it goes to show how the vulnerable a lot of times get preyed upon, because like you said before, he needed parents, he couldn't read or write, and the only thing he had obviously was his physical skills and ability, similar to another former NFL great, in my opinion, Dexter Manley.
Okay.
And those who are the most vulnerable, they oftentimes get preyed upon and taken advantage of, and it's sad, and that needs to stop.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, thank you for that insight. Al Kendall. Al, how are you?
I'm doing good, my black leader.
What say you about that incident with that gentleman, the NFL player?
it seemed to be working itself out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he has come into knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true that there was some advantages that went to the family, but nonetheless, that agreement, their relationship did create a crucible that helped him to get to adulthood.
All right. All right. That's another way to look at it. Yes, it did. And that he's there, he knows.
I mean, now, did I hear he played in the NFL?
Yes.
So if he played in the NFL, no doubt he likely then would have a pension.
Okay. Okay.
And of course, he's married, and who knows what his mental faculties is, and if he has, I guess that brain disease that comes from being in the NFL. So he's married, is what my understanding is, and so perhaps his wife is now making sure, going back through the history of life,
Yes.
helping to put together the pieces.
I hope so. I hope
And
yes.
thing is not equal in life, and so yeah, I'm sure the family made mistakes, but it could have been worse.
You're right. Oh, it could have been worse. Yes, yes, yes. That's right. It could have been that he never came to the realization that he was in a conservatory.
Or they never got there, because the conservatory could have just been another black kid out here in the street. I mean, you gotta take things in measure. You gotta take some of the blessings that did come with you.
Yes, yes. That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for that comment. We need to close with that. Margot, what say you? What's your final comment? Margot? Okay.
Oh, you don't mind if I can.
I was going to have you close us out. Go on, LeBron.
Well, Michael Orr, that's the young man's name. I'm saying he was like around 8 or 9 years, and he made like around $15 million. But see, the people, even after the movie was over for 8 or 9 years, movie don't go that long. They continue to make money off of the man's fame because he was, a rich player. Because of that, somebody said Sandra Bullock was in that movie. Do you know that she adopted a black child so she wouldn't use that movie? And would adopt a black child instead of getting with her brother having sex and making a baby? No, they just go grab them black, steal somebody's baby out of Africa and play like they running things. And so she took advantage of that movie to do what she's doing. And and lastly, what I like to say about this, that we be respectful of each other, let a person speak and talk their mind, and put our passions and energies towards talking about the subject matter and content that Wanda has she given to us on this platform, as opposed to having intersquabbling. That's the great thing about today's show. Thank you.
Thank you. And everybody, thank you for joining. I appreciate all the input, and I look forward to seeing you all again on the Woman to Woman show tomorrow. Have a great evening. I'll send the invitations. Have a great evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.